Hi everyone, and welcome back to another 25-minute Vinyasa flow. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Rosie, I'm going to be your teacher for today, and I really hope you enjoy this class. We're going to be focusing on the idea of setting intentions within our practice and really checking in with how we're feeling before we start, and just being a little bit more aware of where the headspace is at and where the body is at before we begin. So we're actually going to get started lying down. So coming down wherever you are, onto the back, and either just taking those legs out long in front. Maybe you've got the hands rested on the belly or on the chest. If this is feeling a bit much for the lower back, you can take the feet a little bit wider and actually just drop the knees together, so just coming into restorative rest. And take a second here to get comfortable. So you might pick up those shoulders, place them back down, take any last wiggles, any last movement that you might need, and then closing down through the eyes, just taking that attention into the breath and into the body. So you might start by just noticing what parts of the body are grounded down towards the mat. So maybe scan through from the top of the head all the way down to the feet. What parts of the body are connected down into the earth? And we want to allow ourselves here to just settle in. So we allow the body to feel heavy, sinking down towards the floor. And notice your breath here. So as you breathe in, as you inhale and exhale, are there any parts of the body where the breath feels like it might be getting stuck? So just checking, noticing. The breath might be long, it might be going deep all the way down into the belly. It might be resting within the chest. So you might have those hands on the belly, on the chest, noticing that rise and fall. And we're working with the idea today of honoring intention. So just ask yourself, asking that question, how does the body feel today? How does the breath feel? And then take a moment here to just think about the practice we're about to do. And think about how the body's feeling, how you're feeling today. And our intention today is to honor how the body's feeling. So you might even say it now, maybe out loud, maybe in your head. I honor my body. I honor my breath. So it might be that if the body is feeling tired, we go a little slower today. Might be that you're feeling energized, raring, ready to go, and in which case you might feel that way when you're practicing. You might take it that little bit further, engage that little bit more. So just taking that moment to notice. Allowing yourself to take a releasing breath, so breathing in through the nose, releasing, sighing out through the mouth, and then wherever those legs are, slowly just starting to find small movement, maybe initially through fingertips, through toes, and then eventually drawing those knees in towards the chest. And just taking hands around the knees, noticing that lower back, lumbar spine grounding, and you might take a few rocks side to side, so notice that connection between the spine and the floor. And then releasing those arms out, either into a T or into a cactus shape, and just dropping those knees over to the left, and taking the head over to the right. So seeing if you can keep the shoulders grounded here, and allow the body to release. So we're letting go. Just releasing any active effort. So if there's anywhere where the body feels as if it's working hard, just seeing if you can soften. So sending that breath to those parts of the body that feel as if they're working hard. And with the exhale, just imagining that tension dissipating. So almost allowing that body to sink in. Taking just one more breath here, inhaling. As you exhale, slowly peeling those legs back through center, taking the head back through center as well. You might readjust and then coming to the other side. So dropping knees over to the right, taking head over to the left. And again, allowing everything to sink down. Seeing if you can keep that left shoulder grounded towards the mat. It might be that you notice sensation here, so how are the hips feeling? Always asking these questions. Taking just one more breath here, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Finding that exhale and just drawing those knees back in through center. And then again, starting to take hands onto the knees, just finding a rock side to side. And then starting to find a little bit of momentum. So you might start to gently flutter open those eyes, hands might come behind the knees, and just starting to rock forwards and backwards. And it might be that you simply roll up to seated, or maybe you can take it all the way up into a malasana, into our yogic squat. So maybe we find that momentum to come up onto the feet and we land at the top of the mat. So taking hands down for support. And you might be up on the toes here in your malasana. So just starting to move from side to side. Really padding out, so taking that weight into the right foot, into the left. You might take a block, bolster, or a cushion underneath here for support if it feels good. So you've got something to rest down on. And notice that hip space. And from here, maybe you're sat down on the block, maybe you're on the toes. Just taking this left hand out towards the side, and the right hand comes to join it. And as we inhale, see if we can just peel that right hand up towards the sky. Take that gaze up towards the right hand. As we exhale, just drawing it back down towards the left. So just taking 2 more of these. Inhaling to peel up. Exhale to release down. 1 more. Inhale, finding that opening. Shining the chest up towards the sky. Exhale, find that release, right hand back towards left, and then padding both of those hands over towards the right hand side and taking the other side. So right hand grounds. As we inhale, left arm peels up, we find that space, opening for the heart. Exhale, fly it back. So 2 more. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, releasing back down. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, find that release. Left hand coming towards right, and then we pad those hands back through center. We start to push down through the feet, lifting up through the hips. Just taking those feet hip distance apart, taking a real softening through the knees here. So knees don't have to be straight. Allow everything to find some ease. Taking hands to opposite elbows, allowing the head to hang heavy and just finding a rock here. So moving side to side. And then ever so slowly we start to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So knees start to straighten. Hands might drop down. And we roll up. Head, neck, shoulders coming last. Taking the shoulders back, maybe a nice roll as you arrive in your Tadasana. Maybe you pick up those feet, place them back down. So we inhale, sweeping those arms up towards the sky. As we exhale, right hand takes hold of the left wrist and we stretch over towards the right hand side. So getting a nice opening through the left side of the body. Inhale, just coming back up through center. Exhale, arms switch. Right hand comes over towards the left. Taking a big inhale here. Exhale, coming up. And as we exhale, slowly softening back into that forward fold, bending through the knees. Inhale, drawing up to a halfway lift. Back is straight, gaze forwards, hands towards the shins. Exhale, we take those hands down, stepping or jumping feet back towards plank, taking your vinyasa, so either dropping knees, untucking toes, lowering down to the chest on the exhale, or taking your chaturanga. Inhale, taking baby cobra, lifting the head, chest, hands come off, or your upward facing dog. As we exhale, pushing those hands down in towards the mat, rolling back towards a tabletop. So from here, just allowing yourself to ground in towards the mats. Hands are pushing down, knees connected to the floor, hands shoulder distance apart, knees hip distance apart. And as we inhale, just starting to peel that chest up towards the sky, taking that gaze forwards. As we exhale, rounding through the back, allowing head to drop down. So taking a few more of these, working into that cat-cow. Inhale to peel up, exhale to round. So staying with this movement and allowing each breath to facilitate that movement. So the inhale lasts for as long as we're peeling that chest up. The exhale for as long as we're rounding. So this movement might be faster for you, it might be slower. Allow it to be linked in with your breath. It's your practice. Option here as well to simply drop back into a child's pose. So maybe what you're feeling for in this moment is stillness. So again, loop into that intention, honouring how the body's feeling today. Just noticing where you want to go. Similarly, if you're in that cat-cow moving, maybe it becomes a little bit more intuitive. So maybe that movement starts to become bigger and you find circles here. So you're moving round. And just asking that question, what would feel good here? What would be nourishing for my body in this moment? So a few more breaths to be playful, to explore what might work for you. Maybe you're taking the hands, fingertips towards the sides of the mat, taking that weight to either side. Maybe even fingertips towards you, taking that weight back, getting a stretch out through the forearms. So whatever works here for you. Just taking one more breath wherever you are, and then meeting in this tabletop. When we're ready, we're going to push down through the left hand, through the left knee. As we inhale, just take the right foot out behind us, either flexing through the foot or pointing through the toes. This right foot is then going to come down. So we find the sole of the right foot down towards the mat and we pivot on that left knee. So the left foot comes out to the side. As we inhale, peeling this right arm up. And we're cactusing through that right arm, just shining the chest up towards the sky. So taking a nice big inhale here. Exhale, right hand is going to come down towards the right leg. Let me see if we can use that core to lift up off the left hand. Right hand is going to slide down the right leg. We inhale, peel that left arm up and over. So we're taking that gaze up towards the left hand. Breathing into the side body here, finding that opening. Taking one more inhale. As we exhale, right arm slides back up the leg. We take this left hand down again. And right arm sweeps up and over. So we're finding that space, right arm reaching towards the front of the mat. Opening through the chest, feeling into any wobbles that there might be here. An option to pause here with the right arm over, or maybe you start to fly this right leg off, taking a bend through that right knee. Right hand maybe finds the right foot. Foot pushes against the hand. We find a little bit of a hip opening here. So you might send the breath towards the hip. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, gently releasing if you've got that knee bent. Taking the right arm back towards the front of the mat. We take right knee back in. Allow that knee to pivot, come back towards that tabletop. Take a second here. Find any movement that you need, reset. And then when you're ready, moving towards that other side. So right foot, right knee pushing down, right hand pushing down. We inhale, take that left leg behind us. Pointed foot, flex foot. So already noticing how much work the body's doing here, pushing down into the hands, finding that balance. That left foot then grounds behind us. We pivot on that right knee so the right foot comes out towards the side. And as we inhale, we lift up that left hand, find a cactus of the arms. Take the gaze up towards the sky. opening, softening through that heart space. One more inhale here. And then as we exhale, taking that right arm up and over, so towards the front of the mat. And again, we're finding that opening, finding that length. Taking an inhale and either pausing here or starting to take that left foot off the mat. And then it might be that that left hand comes round, finds the left foot. Foot pushes into the hand and we open through the hip. So you might have that gaze down towards the right hand, maybe it's up towards the sky. Again, just sending that breath in towards the hip space. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, slowly releasing, pivoting back round. So left knee comes back towards the mat, left hand comes down, and we pivot on that right knee coming back towards our tabletop. And from here we come back to that breath. So either coming back to the cat-cow or any movement that feels nourishing. Taking just a few breaths here. You might tuck under those toes even, push back through the hands into the feet. Staying with that breath wherever you are. Eventually rocking forwards and coming into a downward facing dog. So just picking the knees up off the mats, rolling hips back. Taking any pedaling out that works, any movement through the feet, maybe even through the head, through the arms and legs. And then coming to find stillness. And from stillness here, the next inhale that we find, just rising up onto the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, drawing heels back down towards the mats. Just taking 2 more of these, inhaling to peel up. Exhale to draw down. 1 more inhale. Exhale, draw back. And then stepping or jumping through to seated. Or simply just walking those feet in towards the hands, taking a bend through the knees, using hands to help you. And coming out, taking the left leg out long. Right knee is going to come in towards the chest, and we're going to pick this right foot up and take it to the outside of the left knee. From here, taking right hand behind us. So we inhale, left arm sweeps up towards the sky. We follow the gaze. As we exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right knee, we find a twist. So we inhale here to lengthen, exhale to twist. It might be that that gaze comes behind you. It might be that you soften today. Maybe you take that head back in line with the chest and just release, chin down. So only taking it as far as feels comfortable. We're extending out through those fingertips, left foot is flexed. Taking just 1 more breath in here. Exhale, find a release. Just swiveling out, so untangling the arms and taking the right knee down on top of the left. So we're coming into a half gomakasana or a half shoelace. So we inhale here to find that length. So we exhale, we walk those fingertips down. Just coming into a forward fold. Gomakasana can be one of those ones that can feel like it's a lot, it can bring up a lot. So really allowing yourself to soften here, only going as far as feels comfortable. So you might come up onto the fingertips. So keeping just a nice straight back. Again, staying with that breath. You might even take a pillow or a cushion on top of the knees. And allowing yourself to undulate. So as you inhale, you might find a slight lift. As you exhale, you might soften that tiny bit more. So always allowing the breath to move through you. Taking just 1 more breath here. When you're ready, slowly starting to peel up. Uncrossing that right leg, so taking right leg out long now. Drawing that left knee in towards the chest and then picking up left foot, taking it to the outside of the right knee. Left hand comes behind us this time. As we inhale, we follow the right arm up towards the sky. As we exhale, right elbow coming to the outside of that left knee, active fingertips, active toes. We inhale, find that length, exhale, find that twist. And again, gaze might come behind you, or maybe you soften it today. Maybe chin just comes down to the chest, you release through that neck. So only taking it as far as feels comfortable. Taking one more breath in here. Exhale, unraveling through the arms. And taking that left knee down on top of right. Flexing through that right foot, we inhale, draw those arms up. As we exhale, we start to find that forward fold. And again, only coming down as far as feels comfortable. Can feel like a lot through the hamstring, through the right leg. So just easing in. And as we find that ease here, we listen to that breath. So we might inhale, lift up slightly, allow the breath to move us. Exhale, ease in. Taking just one more breath here. As you exhale, hands come back towards you. Using those hands to help peel you back up. And then just taking that left leg out long. You might scooch yourself forwards and slowly just coming down onto the back. So it might be here that the legs can come out long. It might be that you come back into restorative rest, so maybe closing the practice the same way we finished. But wherever you are, taking the hands onto the belly or onto the heart space and taking a moment to settle in. So if you could be just 10% more comfortable, what would you do here? Maybe it's simply lifting up those shoulders, placing them back down. Any last wiggles, maybe it's even grabbing hold of a blanket. And just coming back to that intention again. That intention to honor how the body was feeling. Notice the breath. Does it feel any different from how it did when we started class? And maybe it feels the same. So honoring that too. Just welcoming in that breath exactly how it is. We meet the body where it stands. Allowing everything to soften. So knowing that our Shavasana is our time to reset, it's our time to restore. There is nothing to do here, there is nowhere to be. We are simply asking ourselves to be present with the breath, to be present with the body. Noticing as well if when we stop the mind becomes busy, thoughts popping in, and knowing that that's completely normal. As soon as we slow the body, the mind fills up. So allowing yourself to stay with sensation, notice how the body's feeling, or to draw back into the breath. We allow these things that might bubble over to simply sit with us, to take a pause with us. Next breath that rolls in, imagining it moving through the body almost like a wave. Eventually it starts to reach the outermost edges, fingertips, toes, and we welcome in that gentle movement. So again, just slowly rolling yourself over onto one side, Keeping the eyes closed if you can, and taking a few breaths here. So knees might be wrapped up towards the chest. If you've got a blanket, keeping it on you. Arms might be hugged around the body. And then slowly just making our way back up towards seated. So pushing down through that right hand, any hand. Lifting up. Again, keeping eyes closed. And just bringing hands together. Heart center. Or maybe thumbs towards the third eye, dropping chin down towards the chest. And just taking a moment of gratitude. So we thank ourselves for honoring our intentions, for practicing with intent, and for practicing in tune with our intuition, for listening to how the body's feeling. So sealing our practice, taking a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, release out through the mouth, release those hands down, soft gaze in front. We slowly start to come back to the room. Might take a big roll of those shoulders back. So thank you guys so much for practicing today. I hope that's a class that you really enjoyed. It's a nice slow one to kind of ease in. If you did like it, please subscribe to my channel. I've got new classes every week. They normally run alongside a theme, so I teach in person in London, so my in-person classes, you're getting kind of a little snippet of what they'll be for this week. Yeah, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you.